Hey y'all, it's Tuesday, which means it's time for more of this here Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3 100% playthrough. Nice shirt, thank you. It's a quite good one. I like how in the Jiggy, the Rare logo is hidden. You see right there, that's the Rare logo hidden within the Jiggy. It's from Fangamer. DKC 1, 2, and 3, and the way this works, it's sort of a challenge. The way it works is that I have 2 lives. They refresh when I finish a world, basically, which means that, say, if I were to lose one, if I finish the world, I get the 1 back. If I lose both, let's say I were to lose both, 1, 2. At that point, I would switch games, and it would go around to DKC, and then to DKC2, and then back to DKC3, should I continue losing lives one after another. That's how it works. That's how it has worked. You can see over there on the left where we have died, where we have fallen in the 3 games such far. We've gone around the loop several times, but we are in the last couple of worlds in each of the games. The last world or the second to last world in the case of, depending on the game. Here, this is the last world, but there's also the lost world. Meanwhile, in 2, we are on, the last level. There's, 2 levels left, plus 2 boss fights left, in 2. And in 1, there's a world and a half in 1. 1 is the one we're furthest behind in, I'd say. Well, I guess it's debatable. Anyway, let me lead off with some stuff. Let me lead off with some nice cards I want to discuss. So last time I did see a little bit of capture card issue, which was quite concerning. All of a sudden, my audio was delayed. And after fiddling around with everything in the chain, eventually unplugging and replugging the capture card did it, which I found quite concerning. That's never done that before, and if it continues to do that, that's fucked up, man. Can't have that. Which is why I'm happy to say this. I ordered an Elgato. It's a better capture card, and it'll be here on Thursday. We're looking forward to that. That also has pass-through, so the splitter I bought last week that can, split and handle 4K and 1080p, irrelevant, obsolete. Now I can do that just as well with a piece of hardware that, is built to pass through and also capture in 1080. Perfect, just what I needed. It's a bit pricey, but hey, it was like $160 on Amazon, which is a lot more than the dirt cheap capture card I've been using up to this point. But still, I think it's a good thing to get. And I can return the splitter as well, which will save me $40. So it's more like 120 if you really get down to it. What this capture card kind of costs. I'm looking forward to getting that, and I hope it works. Right, what else do we have on the agenda? Follow up with YouTube archives. I was talking with Rock Party off stream about that. Rock was telling me how he was he had some success with the archives of his stream. One of his streams already got 50 views, and he's a pretty new streamer, which surprised me. And I figured that I could do the same, but also I was talking to him, and he just said, well, you can just put up those videos in private, and they won't be deleted at that point, and and if you ever want to use them, you can. And I said, I never thought of that. I started backing up all my videos. It's kind of a shame that I thought of this after the first of the Zelda streams, the Link Between Worlds streams went away, because that would be a really good, okay, here's the start of archiving, the first Link Between Worlds stream. Instead, the start of archiving is the second Link Between Worlds stream, which is not really as satisfying, but whatever. It's all in private right now. I haven't actually pulled the trigger and made any of it, like, live. But I figure eventually I'll make that a proper archive of every stream I've done. It's funny because I did, there was a point where I realized I had lost a bunch of videos from early in my history, right? Like, I lost the first affiliate stream I ever did because I didn't think to highlight it, and I was really distraught for a bit and swore to save and highlight every reasonably important one-off stream, but it never occurred to me that I could just save everything if I just, uploaded to YouTube, even in a private mode. That just didn't occur to me, which I'm kind of bummed now that I realize that that's a thing I could have been doing this whole time. I guess I've, kind of influenced by Dan Reichert, who was, like, the major streamer who, like, got me into watching a lot of Twitch, and he doesn't archive most of his streams, which made me think, like, oh, well, I should just archive the most important ones, and anything else, you had to be there, right? But I could have just been archiving this whole time for no cost and just freely, and didn't think of that. Honestly didn't. Would have liked to have that first Zelda stream existing. Everything else before that, I'm okay with just disappearing because it's, so far gone and it's all gone. If it's all gone, that's fine. But like some gone, some not. That is maddening. And also, it's not like I can so easily cut it off from, cut off the parts that are relevant versus not. Like, I can't just say, like, okay, I can't just say, like, okay, well, I'll archive the Mario Maker, but not the Link Between Worlds, because, there's a lot of streams that are both. And it would be hard to cut off that sort, to make such a fine cut. The best place to cut would have been right before Link Between Worlds. Anyway, that's how I'm feeling right now. That's what's going on with that. Maybe we'll eventually post some videos. I was thinking about posting these streams since they've been quite nice. This is the run, that's right. That's right. One more. Treat stream is on today. I've never tried Arby's, and you can order me some. Right now. Basically, I saw Arby's the other day and thought, people have been telling me that it's actually more like a burger joint than like an Applebee's, which surprised me because I didn't know anything about them. And I'd like to try them, which is why Treat Stream is on. Oh, also, there's not a card for it, but the watch party is, if we meet the watch party goal today, we will do that at the end of this here stream. As you can see on the text on that thing at the bottom of the screen. If we meet the goal, watch party, Bad Grandpa at the end, and also, if that treat stream were to happen, I would count that as completion of the goal. I would count that towards the sub goal, and we would count that as done. That's how it'll work. Let me do a quick thing on the computer to indicate for those coming in that Treat Stream is available. By the way, how's the audio? Hopefully it sounds good. I think yesterday my gameplay was much too loud. Sorry about that. It looked okay on the audio mixer, but it turned out to be way too hot. I'm planning on, like, in the future actually figuring out what the ideal volume is for any given game, and then just writing it down so that I can set it to the same exact setting every time. And hopefully that'll be a little more consistent, a little more better than what happened last time. Really needed a much more conservative volume for the game. I'm gonna add a little text. You know what? Let me just copy some of the existing text. Add a little text here. Let's see. Where is that DK stuff? Fancy line. Okay. Paste this over here and change that to say treat stream is on. Never had our fuck. Paste duplicate and remove that one. Okay. Treat stream is on. I've never had Arby's before. Arby's before. You can buy me some. If you like. If you'd like me to try it. They close at 10 p.m. Central, so they close at 7 p.m. Central. Also, it closes at 10 p.m. Central. Okay, that looks good to me. See link below in the About section. Alright, I think that's good. Now everyone knows that Treat Stream is available until 10 p.m. when Arby's close. And again, if we were to get that Treat Stream, we would count that towards completion of the watch party. You know what? I'll put that in the thing as well. If we get this will complete the sub goal. This will count towards the sub goal and complete it. All right, good. Enough rambling and talking about things that are coming or new channel update type things. Let's get into this. Let's finish this world. Let's do it nice and clean. We got 2 worlds left in DKC3. This world right here and the Lost World, Crematoa. Let's do our best. You know, like I said at the top of here, the basic premise is I only have 2 lives. They refresh when I beat the boss or like, you know, beat a world, complete a world. And we're at the start of this world. Let's go. Let's go. So anyway, what else is... Can't look away for a second, can I? Nearly was bounced into a pit. How y'all doing? It's Tuesday. Hope you had a good Labor Day. I did. I slept until 3 p.m. and then I said, I'm gonna go back to sleep, and then I did. And I slept until like really late. I slept until like 7 o'clock at night last night. And then just had a, you know, nice evening. That's how I was able to catch, like, I watched, I was up really late, so I did, or really late, really early, I guess, next day, so I did catch, like, I caught, like, Glower setting a world record in Paper Mario at, like, 6 a.m., right before, you know, my morning work meetings, which was fun. Happy that he did that. He's always setting world records. He's very good, Glower, at Paper Mario, you know. I'm alright. Feeling good. I was a little tired. I thought about having a nap, but then I didn't. I have now moved past needing to sleep. I have gotten that second wind. You know how it's like when sometimes you're like, Is there something up over there? Yes, bonus. Perfect. But lower is the pape, that's right. You know how it's like when you like push past the point where you need to sleep, and eventually you get a second win, and it's like, okay, I'm good now. I'm good for another couple hours. If you want a nap, you gotta make sure to nap as soon as you're tired. Or if you want to sleep at like a, you know, a nice afternoon nap. Because otherwise you're gonna push through, you're gonna get your win, and that's it. 2. I think we got the both bonuses in this level. Now I just need to get the DK coin, which is at the end. This is quite good level. I think every one of these horizontal rope levels in this game are really well done. Kind of one of the only like new bits of gameplay in this one is like climbing left and right along suspended ropes, but works really well. I really like it. It's true of all the levels that are like that, like the ones with the clasp, those two are fantastic. This one's fantastic. The one in the last world, also fantastic. All of those, just phenomenal levels. Alright, this here level. Not too hard, we just gotta make sure to, you know, time shit right. Would have been funny if I had not timed that right, and then just ran it headlong into a bee. Well, into a thing that would send me into a bee. Go. Fuck. That's fine. Just gotta... I just gotta be good. Don't need that. Ooh. I usually like to have Dixie for that, so you can just hover into it. But, you know, I didn't have Dixie, so what are you gonna do? Speaking of not having Dixie, that means I can't get that bonus. We'll have to make a second lap. That's how this works, you know. I'm going for 100%. I have to get everything. Every bonus, every whatever. Actually, can I just backtrack and get it? I think I might be able to just backtrack and get it. 3. There we go. Backtracking was the answer. Lovely. How's the volume, by the way? I tested it out just using the overworld music. I'm not sure if like if like some of these other tracks are a little more loud, maybe they're a little less correct. Just use, well, that'll work too. Volume seems fine. Fantastic. I worry about that, you know. There's definitely been a few streams where I feel like, you know, I've just gotten it wrong and the volume's just been way out of whack. And whenever... Fuck, I need that barrel. I can Wait. I don't need that barrel. I just need a barrel. I was gonna go into the bonus to respawn it. That's easier. We need the barrel because we need the squitter. There's just been a couple streams where the volume has been incorrect, you know? And I worry after that happens that, like, you know, I don't want to happen again. Arguably, you know, it's not good for volume to be too low, but it's probably worse for it to be too high, right? Because then you can't hear me at all. And okay, let me just go. And if you can't hear me at all, you know, it's bad. But if you can't hear the game at all, It's not ideal, but you know, you can live with it, and it's not like the content is too affected. Just somewhat. Just somewhat. There we go. We got both the bonuses now in this level, so we should be able to proceed. This barrel. Also starting a little earlier tonight. I mentioned yesterday that I was thinking about doing that, and sure enough, I did. Reason for that is simple. Well, I decided to do treat stream, and the store closes, you know, at 10, so starting at 8 gives you a little more time to get that order in, and for it to get delivered, you know, in a timely fashion. Otherwise, it would be cutting it a little close. This timing here is a bit difficult, but it's not. There we go. Damn it. We're not gonna run into the B though, so fuck. So it's not like we're gonna die, so just try this a couple times. What the fuck? That felt good. There we go. Got the bonuses here. Just gotta get through here. As well as a final gauntlet, but hey, we got Diddy and Dixie. Diddy and Dixie. We got Dixie and Kitty here. We'll be absolutely fine. There's a secret bonus down this shaft. Oh, but it's just G. All right, another level done, and that is indeed 100%. Gotta do this. Do a figure 8 here. Unlock the thing. 1 second, let me grab a pen. Here we are. DKC3 is your fave, Shag. Wow. That's not a super common opinion, but I respect it. I do think it's really interesting how it, you know, takes things in a slightly different direction and avoids just being like DKC2's clone, right? It's good. I would say all three games are really good. Are you including the remake games? You know, like the retro games in that? How would you include the retro games? X, Y, Y. I don't know how many Y's that was, but it was like B-A at the end. Either 4 or 5 Y's. That was too many Y's. You haven't played Returns, but Tropical Freeze is great. Yes, that's right. That was too many Y's. Y, B, A, B, A, X, Y, B, B, A, B, A, X. There we go. Show me for like talking through the game, talking through the Simon Says. Tropical Freeze is amazing. I would say DKC2, Tropical Freeze, 3, 1, Returns. That's the order. Tropical Freeze is about as good as a game can be, as a DKC game can be, in the year it came out. You know, which is a thing I would say about DKC2 as well. Fuck. It's just about perfect. You know, the only things that you could really... Wait. Put this... There's no secret here, okay. Yo! I feel like I already missed a bonus. Pretty sure I already missed a bonus, but whatever. I'm alive. And I'm happy with that. Are you going for 103%? Remind me how you do that. Is that just, Yeah, I think I'm going for, like, the maximum percent you can get. I know I said 100%, but what I actually mean is maximum percent. That was a boneheaded way to do that. Yeah, I just have to get everything, which, in any other game, that would be 100%. Yes, we need all them creme coins. Use some lag there. Got the DK barrel. Able to go into the DK thing. Yeah. We need all the creme coins for Krematoa. We also need all the banana birds for 103 to see the actual ending. Hey, Joe Gamo, how you doing? Me too. I love them to death. Some of my... No! I say some of these games. First games I ever played. You know, when I was a kid, got a SNES, got Donkey Kong Country. One more try. By the way, we have a challenge thing going, but bonus games do not count for that. I can fail at them as much as I like. I got Donkey Kong Country and a SNES, and I just fucking loved the shit out of it. Thought it was like the most, you know, visually impressive thing I'd ever seen, and just fucking loved them. You know, eventually got 2 and 3, and you know, up until the point where I actually got like an N64. These were my world. I think what it was that convinced me to get an N64, or made that like, oh, we gotta get an N64, is, you know, fuck. Wait, there's a DK barrel right over here. Let's go back and get it. The fuck? Oh, no, the DK barrel is gone. Okay. Fuck! That's the first life. Okay. I think what convinced me to get an N64 is I heard that, I heard, I don't know where, maybe like, I don't think I had Nintendo Power at the time because, like I said, my world was just very specifically Donkey Kong Country and its 2 sequels. But, I got, I heard that there was a DK64, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta get that. I gotta get an N64. And, you know, I think... You know what I distinctly remember, actually? I remember having the conversation of, like, I think this is for a different system. I think this is for the N64. Actually, we need to get an N64. I wanted to make sure there wasn't a bonus down there. That was a silly thing to do. Yikes! Okay. There we go. Ooh. Yeah, we missed a bonus. We gotta go back in. We have lost one of our lives. I think the bonus is in the water somewhere. One of these pools of water has in it a bonus game. Not sure which, but we will find out. There we go, that's it. That's the one. Right. Oh, gotta jump. That'll do it for this level. Get out of here. Alright, that's done. Coin Dozer Clamber? Let's do it. Let's go. These guys are, Okay, there's nothing over there. No bonus. Bonus, I think, is later. Gotta land on these guys precisely. Bonus right here. Beautiful. With these guys, if y'all don't remember them or don't know them, you gotta make sure to land on them precisely, because if they, you know, if you're like not on top of them, they'll run at you and they might push you off the ledge. There's not a bonus over there, is there? No, I think I would have seen it. Yeah, no bonus. There isn't one. Nope, bonus is later in the level. The level I'm most worried about is in the Lost World. It is the level Stampede Sprint, and I've definitely had... I think the last time I played Stampede Sprint, it took me a bunch of tries to get through it. And, well, a bunch of tries converts to multiple laps around the thing, which is precarious, if that makes sense. Dixie, please. I don't know if y'all know the indie DKC like Kaze and the Wild Masks, but that is just a fantastic game if you like DKCs. Kaze is definitely one that should be on your radar. That's K-A-Z-E, Kaze and the Wild Masks. Phenomenal game. Did we get both of them? I think we did. Yeah, we definitely got both of them. Definitely jumping real fast so that he doesn't have a chance to run over and push me into the void. Okay, we got all but the last two. Last two, Poison Pipeline, which is gonna be fucking hard. By the way, I'm playing on a SNES controller tonight. The last time, like about a year ago, last December, I did DKC 1, 2, and 3 any percent, switching games every time I died. And it was funny because I was able to get through all of DKC 3 without a single death that time, up until this level. Nearly one-shotted it, if not for this here, you know, mirrored pipeline. Which was quite harrowing. At the time, I didn't have the concept of the lightning round or, you know, last tries, so it wasn't like, you know, now I'm doing it more in the style of my Mario Maker stuff. Then I was just doing it as a one-off challenge. But, you know, I'll say this has not gone quite as well. You know, I've definitely like gone around the loop a couple of times, which, you know, hey. Part of me was hoping I could, like, do better than last time and actually, like, one-shot DKC 3, but, you know, it is true that this time I'm also going for all the collectibles and all that business, which makes it a bit tougher. Okay. I'm gonna just use the Unguard's, like, attack to move, just so I don't get turned around. Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's... By the way, for those who don't know this level, Poison Pipeline, my controls are mirrored. My left-right controls are backwards. It's really tough to, manage, because, you know, it's backwards, you know? Very, very challenging to manage. Up and down is the same, though. Shit. Left. I need to go left to go left. Or left to go right. There we go. Here. We need to go through here. There's a part where you have to go downwards to get the bonus stage. Absolutely have to do that. Swim through this gap. Carefully, carefully. Beautiful. Beautiful. These guys are devilish. Ah. You could, I suppose, and this is true, if you were to, like, mirror the feed while you were underwater, you would be able to, like, it would look right to you, right? It would be, more easy, except when, you know, you're getting out of the water, I guess, but up until then, that would make this level much easier. Still, it is very precise, I guess, either way, even if you were to do something so weird. Whew. Got through clean. I feel good about that, considering, like I said last time, that's where I died in DKC3. So to get through clean, it's a relief. Now we just got to do Castle Chaos, which, by the way, I'll say, Castle Chaos, one of my absolute all-time favorite bosses. I would go so far as to say it's my favorite boss. It's my favorite boss in any game. It is just very involved, very elaborate, and I think every phase is pretty fun and lasts about as long as it should. Before I go in, let me bring up one of these cards and say what's on it. I watched the last House of the Dragon. Okay, let's go in. Last House of the Dragon came out on Sunday while I was streaming. Watched it after, and it was quite good, turns out. Okay, let's take our time here. Really happy with what they're doing with House of the Dragon. I like how much, like, political nonsense is in there. Just a bunch of lords and ladies, like, horse trading all the time, and the king just being so fed up with it, like, God, shut the fuck up. Stop fucking politicking to me. I don't want to hear it. And everyone being like, well, you're gonna hear it. Let me tell you my idea for you know, all this business. And he hates it. It's good. And then after all that, like, courtroom shit, you go over and there's some stuff with Damon, you know, which is Matt Smith, Doctor. He's the guy playing the evil, the morally questionable evil evil Targaryen, and he does some good stuff. And yeah, really good episode. I was really happy with it. Let's beat Baron K. Rulenstein's ass. So here, we have to hit the thing. We're gonna have to do a lot of ducking under him. There we go. Put that down. Now we're just gonna run under him while he jumps repeatedly. This is a very well put together boss. It's not hard at all. Very fair. And it has so many phases, all of which last like two hits, which, you know, I guess this is before the rule of 3 really solid, really like entrenched itself. But I think it works really well in this, that like, no, 2 is fine, you got the idea. You did 2 hits of that one, it's time for the next one. You know what, if I were to make, you know, obviously I live in the world as much as you, but you know, it'd be cool if you were making an indie game. Actually just use rule of 2 instead of rule of 3, and I bet it'd be pretty cool. It might feel pretty good like this boss does. You can have the last phase be a rule of 3. Like, you know, this one actually, the last phase is 3 hits rather than 2. See? 2 again. This here's the last phase. No, second to last. Again, this is 2. Rule of 2. Underrated, I think. I know, there's not a rule of 2, but... Also, by the way, if we beat this boss, I'll be refreshing my lives, which is quite nice considering I had lost one. Oh, that was a little risky, but it worked out. Okay, get out there. Last hit on this phase. Here we go. I will say, conversely, I don't care for the final Baron K. Rulenstein fight. I think that this one is just miles away, much better than that one, which I find somewhat frustrating and not really all that fun or intuitive. If this one is S tier, that one's more like C or F as far as boss fights go. Hello, Paul. How you doing? Oh, fuck. Keep screwing this up. Drop the barrel, not when the guy's there, and also when the electricity is not about to destroy it. 2 hits. Just need 1 more, and it'll be done. I'm planning for my Super World, my Mario Maker Super World, taking some inspiration from this boss fight. Specifically, like, you know, there'll be a lot of, like, running back and forth, doing a thing on one side, then doing a thing on the other side. I think that's the right way to do it. I would, as a kid, repeatedly beat this boss over and over again and watch the credits, because maybe that's also part of it, is that the photo album after beating this boss is really fucking good. But I would just love to beat it, watch the photo album, and, you know, have a good time. And I'll say that that's the only boss where I feel that way. You know, like, I can tell you, I went out of my way to fight the K. Rool fight again and again. Cranky's not impressed. He has glasses. Should we watch the photo album for those who haven't seen it? By the way, for those who are coming now, You know what? We did beat the boss, so that refreshes our lives. In any case, we're back up to 2. For those who weren't here earlier, I had some announcements at the top. One of which being that treat stream is going on. If you order me some Arby's, if you do so before 10 p.m. Central, I'm kind of hungry, so I would very much like to try that there Arby's. And also, we have to, also there's a sub goal, which has been going for a bit. We're actually pretty close to meeting it. If we get the treat stream, if that were to happen, it would count for completing the sub goal, which would mean that tonight, maybe around 11:30 Central or so, we would be watching, Bad Grandpa. That's my thought right now. That's my plan. If y'all want that, now's a good time. Not every stream, basically, not every stream is going to guarantee. If we meet the goal during any stream, it might not end in a watch party. You know, we might do it at some other time. But I will say, if we do it tonight, it will be tonight. I like how each of these guys, they're all doing a thing. They're all somewhere in a level. And also you get their names, which, it's always nice to find out in this, like, oh, that's a coin. Okay, that's a knick-knack. That's cough and tough. Tough and cough. Cluff and clout. That's it. Cough and cough would be a good name for a Kremling, though. That's Neek. Let's see how many of these I could get. Or Sneak. Neek was in the last game. That's gonna be knick-knack. Yeah, knick-knack, that's right. That's bristles. That's it, yes. Okay. Nid, that's it. Shit. They are from the level Spring Spiders, though. That's a Lemguin. That's Clunk? Minky. Wouldn't have guessed that. Like Minky Kong? That's a Buzz. Like the toy of the same name. I guess Buzz Lightyear did exist at that time. That's a Swoopy. From the level Swoopy Swallow. That's a Booty Bird. Or a Bounty Bird. Booty Bird was right. That's a Bazooka. No, that's a Carbine. Bazooka's the one that fires the bazooka. That's the Kremling is the bazooka. Clown something. Clown Coco. It did start with a cuz noise. That is Spiny. It's Lurchin. That's it. They do Lurch. That's Nibla. There's Baza. That's a Bounty Bass. Bounty Bass. Good name for a fish. And that's a Baza Barracuda. Baza, that's right. From the level. That's a glowfish. A gleaming breen. That's it. Big time bad guys. These guys are all they all have their names in the levels. There's not Belcha. There's Belcha, Auric, or Aurich, Arak. There's Squirt. There's what the fuck is the robot's name? Chaos. Chaos is the name. Bleak. Big Mama Lurchin. I forget what her name is. Barbos. Oh, you know what? That's why I was thinking Barbos, because that's her name. Barbos is that one. And then there's Baron K. Rulenstein. Hey, hey. Looking rather nervous. Gonna hit the button. Get frustrated by it. His button's not working. That's a good face. I like how he mugs for the camera. We know these guys. We know these guys. Let's. That's Ellie. Squitter. Unguard. Funky. You know these guys. You know them well. Swanky. It's not really a challenge to know these guys. Perry the Parallel Bird. How about a card? What's next? The next N64 Online release. They've been keeping up with the one-a-month release for those N64 games. I got a feeling that pretty soon we'll be getting a new one, right? I wonder if that'll just be like a random one they drop. I was seeing people say like, well, you know, if there's a direct in the next, you know, month or so, they can very easily at that direct be like, hey, check it out. Smash Brothers or Mario Party, something like that which would be a big deal, is coming. Maybe all of them, maybe like, you know, Bizarre Barnacle. I don't think they give you time to actually identify it. That's Brash. Probably wouldn't have gotten Blunder. Blue and Bazooka. Isn't the other one also called Bazooka? There's an enemy called Bazooka, isn't there? Blizzard and Bramble. Well, I guess people can share a name. That's not a problem. Bjorn and Benny Barter. Okay, I think that's... I'm pretty sure that if you just restart, it saved your progress and shit. I mean, I hope it did. I mean, I haven't saved this whole game, so... Let's get out of here. Well, actually, hang on. We should see the rest of this. Funky Kong. That's Swanky. Just a couple more. There's Wrinkly. She's all jazzercising. I could see it being anything. You know, it could be a small game, big game. I would like Banjo-Tooie to be, you know, sometime this year. Doesn't have to be this month, but I don't know. We'll see. There's Kiddy Kong. Love that dude. His is just okay. Dixie's, though. Dixie's is the best. That's not how her ponytail twirl works, but it's still a very cool bit. Ah! There she goes. I'm playing that up. I knew that was gonna happen. Isn't that fun? Okay. I'm just gonna... You know, it's already saved, I'm sure. Shout out to... There's probably a Matt. Tim Atwood, I guess. Who's the first one that you know for sure? Matt Stevenson? I don't know. Whatever. Eventually we'd get to Lay Love Day or something. Alright, that is the lovely, you know, photo album book thing. Let's go reload it up and resume our file, which I'm assuming automatically saved as I beat the guy, because I have not been saving this whole game. I've just been rolling. Yep. Nice little save there. And this world is completed. Let's bail out of here. We just got the Lost World to go, as well as some side stuff. Let's see, we also need to do, like, the bears at some point. You know, the bears that are not, like, super obvious. Like, we need to... I forget how this works, but don't you just go up to the right? Very goal-oriented and organized. Reasonably goal-oriented and reasonably organized. What the fuck? Oh, you know what we need to do? There's another thing we need to do real fast. I've forgotten K3 to go talk to Blue Bear while we were here earlier. Also, there's a cave. Let's do the cave. I'm writing down the Simon Says because I'm bad at this. A, B, B, X, Y, B, A. A, B, B, X, Y, B, A. Got the bird. Banana bird. Okay, now gotta talk to this boy here. Blizzard. Blizzard has a gift for his buddy. For his buddy Blue. We can absolutely deliver that, no problem. Let's do that. You know what? Shortcut. Let's just slide on out of here. I don't know if I would call myself goal-oriented. That seems like weird corporate speak to me. I don't know. All that corporate nonsense just doesn't strike me the right way. Look at that. It's his birthday. What did he get? Also, the music turns from sad to happy. It's a bowling ball. We can have it. We can have it. Happy birthday, Blue. Shout out to Blue Bear. Happy birthday to that guy. I hope he's having a happy one wherever he is. The bowling ball. With the bowling ball, we can turn around and do this. Talk to this guy. We have a little ammunition for you. The ammunition will be blasted up to here. And figure out a thing. Let's go. Y, A, X, X, A, B, B. Have you experienced something to do with goals in the corporate world that you didn't like? I guess. I don't know. I find a lot of that shit to be... Wait, that was an X, not an A. Misread my own handwriting. One more time. I'll answer that in a second. X, B, B, X, Y. X, X, was it? Good. I just am put off by that whole shit. I would say, yeah, you know, there have been, like... The thing that puts me off is stuff about, like, oh, you know, there's a lot of, like, corporate jargon that's just total bullshit. And, you know, I just don't have much in the way of patience for, like, any of it. The thing that I would say... that I would, like, pick out would be like, oh, you know, mirror, let's see. How much for the shell? Oops. I accidentally spent some coins finding out who owns the castle. What about the mirror? Fortunately, I have 50 coins, so that's perfect. There's a lot of corporate nonsense, you know, where, like, your boss's boss's boss will come in and be like, okay, guys, we gotta have a startup mentality. You know, everyone has to be working like it's a startup. Okay? And you just sit there and think, well, if you bust your ass for a startup, you get money on the back end. I bust my ass here. You know, that's not how it works. You just get like a 2% raise. And even that is generous. You get like a 1% raise every couple of years. Barely even keeping up with inflation. Yeah, you can have it. We don't need it anymore. We don't need it because all that would do is tell us a thing. You know, all that stuff is just... It's obvious, I think, to most people, I would imagine, that it's all bullshit. It's all like, oh... It's all just a bunch of bunk. A bunch of people just saying things that are supposed to sound good, but you can just hear how hollow it is and how trash it all is. Trash crashed. How it's just not valueless. I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Do you, when you hear some bullshit, do you go like, oh, that's some bullshit? A, X, B, Y, 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 X. A, X, B, Y, 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 X. Perfect. We made the lift as well. Nice. I'm not gonna make that one, but okay. So it's bullshit when you do it on your own, but those with, or only when people have philosophies that come in from above. I'm saying, I would say that, like, the words of you know, the sort of specialist who, like, deals in that shit as a rule is typically a bunch of bullshit. Yes. If you're doing it as on your own, or like, I do think there are people out there who can speak to that shit, like, genuinely, right? Who can say things like, oh yeah, you know, I just try things and I keep on steadily improving. But a lot of times it's just, you know, it's just bullshit to the point of like, hey, work harder, complain less, be happy with what you got. And I'm not really like anything of value, you know? I do think, you know, if there was a meeting at my work a while ago, I'm not gonna, I don't really talk about my work. You know what? I think it's probably okay to say this because my boss at the time is gone now. But there was a meeting on like, oh, you know, let's brainstorm. We've been told from above that we need to hold some meetings to brainstorm how to improve retention. And I just went into that going like, man, I don't feel like bullshitting. I just want to say the obvious, which is the only way to retain people is to pay them more. Pay them more, better workplace culture, you know, less toxic culture, more money is like, a less toxic culture is good, of course. But at the end of the day, money is the most important thing. And it's like key to anything else before, is key to like anything else you could change, right? More money, just rule of thumb, best policy as far as retention goes, but, you know, ended up being like, yeah, the meeting was guided enough where like, okay, first let's focus on, you think that studies have shown that retention is, I jumped into a pit. I don't know about that. I feel if you want to keep people happy and keep them from like from like hopping jobs, keeping up with like what they could get elsewhere is just, I jumped into the pit a second time. I do think that just like such things like you know, are key to like making people happy is just make sure that they are like financially solid and all stuff. Purpose and feeling. That's fair too. I will say, you know, money would help you with that, I'm sure. I do think that, like, I did wonder at some point, like, are like, Americans gonna be so, like, risk-averse due to the economy being horrible that, like, people will stay in jobs forever? Whoops. Repeatedly. You know, similar to, like, in Japan, there's actually, the way that Japan typically works is that, people get a job and they hold it forever, right? That's not really how America works, but I've realized in the, you know, years since I've got this job, the obvious reasons why that will never be true, which is that if you want to keep making more money as you like, you know, get experience, the only way to keep up with things is to quit and to find somewhere else that will pay you more. Anyway, that's enough labor talk. Happy Labor Day, everyone! Happy Labor Day. I'm a little worried about this level. This is the level I'm worried most about. We gotta get through with Paracarry, but, you know, we could take a try or two, I guess, for Paracarry. I took a hit. That's fine. Yikes. Dang it! Fuck. First life down already. It's a hard fucking level. Oh, did we get the Squawks one? We need to do the Squawks one as well. Don't think we did, yeah. I feel like I would remember this if we did. I do think, like, one of the most important things you can do as far as, like, retaining people right now is to not fuck around with a return to the office. Like, don't even, you know, as far as, like, at least engineering goes, right? If you can work from home, definitely do not fuck around. Do not say, hey, you're coming back to the office, right? Because if you do that, I feel like everyone's going to just go look for opportunities that don't involve return to the office. I mean, I'll say, you know... Here's what I believe about work. There's several things I believe about work. One is that you should support your coworkers. You know, you should be very supportive of their interests and, you know, collective bargaining and all that. Collective bargaining as well as just, you know, being understanding of whenever they run into issues or, you know, vice versa, because you would want them to be there for you in the same way. And I believe that slow and steady wins the race, you know, just do what you can, improve where you can, bit by bit, and eventually you will, you know, you'll get where you want to be. That's how I would define my relationship with labor, with working. How you doing, Rock Party? We're doing Treat Steam today. If you want to buy me Arby's, which I've never had, link is below the stream. Closes at 10 p.m., so, you know, window is closing there. Gotta make sure not to lose. Fuck. Is that a... Fuck. Oh, Jesus, no. I have to do that again. We have to do that hole again. Oh no. Anyway, I don't want to dump on. I just think that, like, corporate messaging just, to me, just rings as hollow. I think it does for a lot of people. I do believe in solidarity. People supporting each other, being understanding, and creating a positive environment. And slow, steady, like, improvement, you know? Steady, always taking another step is how I would frame it. Ooh. There we go. Once more into the breach here. This one is hard because you do have to redo the entire level if you fuck it up. I want to, if I can, just ignore those ones and focus on the ones that are less risky. Again, if I can. I think at this point, I need to get everyone I can. So... perfect. Ooh, got through. Might as well get this. We got him already, so whatever. Ooh. Good work. Good work. Right, well, we got 1 life to do the rest of the Lost World in, but I think that was the most dangerous level of the bunch, maybe other than the rocket and the actual boss. The actual boss with Baron K. Rulenstein. So let's keep moving, let's keep going, do this thing, etc. There's only 2 locations here, so it's possible every banana will be multiple. We'll go back and forth. Again, try to. The green canyon back there. Make sure to get this K barrel before I go in. I like how in this game all the levels have their own, like, color scheme that is, you know, distinct, different from other levels. It looks nice, and it's just a simple way to take, you know, same assets and give them a slightly different spin. There we go. Barely got through. Whew. How you doing, Rock Party? You were doing a stream yourself earlier, weren't you? By the way, Rock Party, Shag, both streamers, lovely folk. Shag does Paper Mario speedruns. Do you do anything else, Shag? Do anything else other than Paper Mario? Glitchless percent. You know, glitchless any, I guess. Do you call it any when it's glitchless, or you just call it glitchless? And Rock Party has been doing a lot of RPGs from Rock Party. Been doing Outer Worlds recently, as well as some Pokemon games, if I'm not mistaken, Arceus and such. Who rated you the other day? It was almost 100 peeps. That would be I'm Glower, and then later Team Kayla also did a raid. I am Glower. The letter I, the letter M, and then Glower. Fantastic. Fantastic, fella. Fuck. Fantastic. Paper Mario streamer. Holds a lot of world records. Top notch. Shit. How many subs did you get from that? Not from that raid, no, but I don't think necessarily there were any followers out of that on that day, unless... Actually, no, there was like 3 follows, I think. There were like 3 or 4 follows right after the raid. Not 0, that's for sure. Yeah, so 3. 3, I think, is the... if I recall, 3 or 4. And then Team Kayla also raided later that night. Lots of big raids. And also was the first time that, you know, the new thing that I have that shows like a bunch of rockets going by for each member of a raid. First time that got seen, which was just very, very nice. I prepared that pretty recently. That whole raid thing. It also can happen if you host, which I don't know if... Did y'all see this? They obsoleted the rating. Or sorry, hosting. Hosting is going away in October, which I will say makes sense. I think that makes sense. Hosting just seemed really weird to me. Like, it's like a raid, but the members of their chat do not come in to your chat, so you can't actually see their messages, which is just like a weird disconnect, I think. I think it was never quite working how they intended it to work, and it's not going to be a thing anymore. You commented that I would not see 100. The 100 comment was about the... Wait, oh, this is just for a life. 2 lives, actually. The 100 comment was for the sub alert. There is a sub version of that. There's the rockets, for the bottle rockets for the raid, but there's also a similar effect for sub gifts. And that would require like $500 worth of subs, which I would be fucking surprised if that were to ever happen. I mean, it would take Elon Musk coming here and dropping $500 like it's nothing. Who would do that? No. There is an effect for like what happens, you know, if that were to ever happen. There's effects for 1 through 50, and then different ones. What are your thoughts on Elon? He seems like not a great person. People, you know, when he was talking about buying Twitter, everyone on the Discords I was in was pretty distraught and like, no, that's not a good idea. I'm worried about that. But it turns out that he was too wishy-washy and it never happened. I would say unimpressed by Elon. I'm sorry if, you know, you're a fan of his. I know he is somewhat popular, you know, for some people. But, you know, the thing about Elon is that he has some, you know, he puts up these projects that cause people to say, oh, let's do that instead of trains or like something more reasonable, right? There's stuff like the Hyperloop, right? Which is like, there's a really great video on this topic that I saw a while ago about like the Hyperloop and how it's kind of about multiple of Elon's projects and how they're just like unworkable ideas, and governments are going to spend 10 years trying to, you know, spend money on them in case they are doable, and they're going to find out that like, oh, it never pans out, when they could have just spent a more reasonable amount of money on like bullet trains or something that we already know how to make. in these great videos I'm talking about, the YouTuber in question, who I'll link him in the Discord later, because he's a really good like city skyline streamer who also like talks through like economics and like urban development and all that stuff through the lens of city skylines and the Let's Play that he was doing. He hasn't posted in like a year and a half, so you know, don't expect any updates, but all his videos are really good. What he said in those videos I speak of is that there is a distinction between like workable technologies and fucking magic. And it's very easy to pitch fucking magic because you can just say like, oh, it'll cost $10 and it'll solve all your problems. I don't have it yet, but I will eventually. It's harder, on the other hand, to actually have a real solution and shit. We need Kitty Kong to get back up there, but we just lost him. Can we go back and get a DK barrel maybe? Or is that gonna be not available? Good, okay, it is available. Fucking magic solution. The thing about like actual technologies, you think if so long he would have to like fuck. Oh good, okay, actually these guys aren't so deadly. The thing about fucking magic versus real fuck. Well shit. We'll come back for that later, I guess. Here's the thing about fucking magic versus like real workable solutions. You know, basically, you're the government, right? And Elon Musk comes to you and says like, I want to build the hypertrain, and you ask, how much does it cost? And he says, oh, it'll cost not that much. But he doesn't know because we haven't actually built any. And, you know, the price, the cost of it remains to be seen. So he can really lowball it. Meanwhile, for, like, projects that we do know the price of, like, for instance, like bullet trains, you know, people have built them before, so you actually have solid numbers to go on. And those solid numbers are, wouldn't you know it, they're more expensive than what Elon is proposing. I'm just gonna take a damage boost to get into there. Gotcha, Paul. Okay. Anyway, that's Elon Musk. It is true that if his ideas were not to pan out, that, you know, state money should really not be spent on them. But, you know, wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which fills up first. Oh, Jesus. In practice, I'm pretty sure that, like, when the money spent on those projects to make, like, a shitty, you know, like a shitty, tunnel, like that loop thing that he made, kind of a silly idea. Also, Teslas tend to have a, have I heard of the Neuralink? Yeah, that's his, brain chips, basically, yeah. I'll tell you, you know, there's some tweets I've been seeing about how, like, Teslas are... There were some tweets a while ago about, like, oh, you know, this about Teslas, like, oh, the doors don't work. You have one in your head right now? Jeez. Is it doing stuff for you? Really, I didn't know that they actually had those. I hope that it doesn't blow up. I hope that it is stable and it's doing cool stuff. Elon is your god? Gotcha. I'll tell you, I don't put as much faith in him as you do, but I hope that it works out for you and that the brain chip is is not causing any side effects, you know? Okay, knock on wood. Another level down. 100%. Yes. Swoopy salvo. Is it actually? I didn't know that that was actually a thing now. You don't care about Elon? Okay, good. Okay. it was a goof. Okay, cool. I was worried, man. You really had me. For a second I was like, wait, are you legit? Oh, I was worried for a second, like, am I gonna lose you by saying that Elon's kind of a poser? You had me worried there. You had me worried. I was about to say, like, you know, I've heard a lot about like those Teslas, you know, like, oh, doors won't open when it's cold, or, you know, the console fucking reboots and doesn't come back on. And, you know, there's been plenty of videos of like the self-driving cars nearly self-driving right into pedestrians or killing people. You know, there was that video where a guy like hastily grabbed the wheel and was like, oh, that's not the move, that's not the move. Which is really funny when you consider, like, that's not the move is kind of an understatement there. I know that, like, if you buy a Tesla, you probably feel pretty much bought in, right? In for a penny, in for a pound, regardless of, like, how, like, the reputation of Teslas has really, like, turned around these days. You know, has turned around from, like, oh, this seems like a really fucking cool bit of technology to, like, everyone realizing, like, oh, these are kind of trash. They're kind of no good. We need to get... This is probably going to be the hardest thing in this level right here. Shit, does that door block? Fuck! Dang it. Oh. That was our second life. Right. Shit. That makes sense. That part is hard as balls. Jeez. Just getting through that doorway. If you have an extra Kong there, it's much easier and much more, like, reasonable. Ooh. That is two lives. That is a thing. Now we move back around to the original Donkey Kong Country. Balls are soft. That's right, they are. That is true of balls. By the way, only like 25 minutes left in that treat stream thing if you want to get that in there. You know, they close at 10, so deadline. Whoops. Did not close the... Alright, let's go ahead and add Died in Krematoa. Died in Krematoa. DKC3. Why do you want Arby's? I'm interested in trying it out. I've never had it before. And, you know, I've heard people say it's good. I'll tell you, like, until, like, pretty recently, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that it was actually, like, a sandwich shop. And sandwiches that are more akin to burgers. That, to me, is something I didn't know until very recently. So, I'm interested in that. Trying it out and seeing if it's for me. I've been told what I should get by a guy I know, H-Guy Era. and he recommended a beef and double cheddar with a lot of Arby's sauce, as well as a roast beef sandwich and curly fries. He says to put the curly fries into the burger and to dip it in the sauce. And apparently that's really good, and I will try that. I will put it on the document cam so you can see it as I eat. It should be very nice. I'm also somewhat hungry, so I could really go for it. All right, back to the couch. DKC1. We are starting from Kremrock Industries. Yep. Let's go. I already did a save. Ready to go back to the game selection and open the next game. By the way, one thing here is that if I beat 2 of the games, if I were to beat 2 of the games completely, instead of, once there's no other game to switch to, DK64 Randomizer. When you say the link is in the description, look below the stream. There's a bunch of about panels down there. One of them is a link to the treat stream. You can click on it there. Also, I will say, if this treat stream gets met, that will count as fulfilling the sub goal. And we would watch a movie later tonight as a result, around 11:30 Central. Oh, slave slot. I need to load this. Minecart Madness. Did I get the minigame here? Yes, I think so. Well, we can just get it again on the way. No big deal. If you look below the stream... Okay, I'm pretty sure I already got that anyway, so I don't need to get it again. If you look below the stream, like scroll down, there will be a treat stream link that is embedded in an image. Similar to the donate one, but maybe a little bit lower. The minecart levels in the original DKC are a lot more vanilla than in later games, which I always think is funny. You don't see any of that? I just missed the bonus, didn't I? That was totally a bonus. We'll go back for it. You know what? Let me get that link for you. I'll put it into the chat real fast. I did have a let me see. 1 second, I'll put the link into chat. All right. Where is it? Let me pull up the Twitch page. I think you can see about pages on the phone. I'm just not sure how you do it. You might have to like pull up the page, like the channel page. Let's see. I'll copy and paste it into the thing. Here it is. Copy image address. Wait. There's the link. Let me see that works. Let me see that's work. Currently closed? Wait, doesn't Arby's open at... I thought they closed at 10. Oh, was it 9? Dang. Oh, I guess I misread. No, it says closes soon. On Google Maps, I'm seeing 10 p.m. Are they closed for deliveries? How are they closed? This just says closing soon when I look at Amazon. You're gonna have to go to sleep hungry, sir? Yeah, I guess. 1 second. Well, shit. I will just have to go to sleep hungry. I might get some Whataburger later. I guess they close at 10, but treat stream is weird. No problem. You did what you could. Maybe if I had the bots given the link mid-stream. They do close at 10, so it really should be allowed, but I guess they need 30 minutes to actually deliver the thing, don't they? Well, live and learn. You just got done eating a pizza? Be jealous? Damn, man. Alright, that's... Well, we tried. And of course, we could still meet the watch party. I will say, right now... Oh, I believe that should be... Right now, we are at 3 plus 4 subs. I know it says 5, but that's actually not correct. I added 4. I added 4 of them because Rock Party did a bunch of direct donations the other day, and I'm counting those towards the sub goal. That's why that is there. Let me just edit that real fast. That should be 4. I had 1 because the goal hadn't updated, but now it has updated to have all these subs that were added recently. So we just need 3 subs and we will watch a movie. This is me. What is that? What is that circle supposed to be? Like quit setting goals, sir. That's fair. Hovering over it. Is that an emote? Let's go back to the couch and let's play this game. Quit setting goals, sir. So corporate. Alright. Oh, was the goal thing in reference to my sub goal? Goal-oriented as in sub goal? Oh, okay. I didn't make that connection. I guess I shouldn't have dumped on it as being like sort of a corporate thing that I don't like. I do like goals as far as sub goals go. I can't believe, you know what, I've not messed around with treat stream that often. You know, part of that is that I tend to stream pretty late, and I know most restaurants are closed pretty late. I guess if we ever want to do treat stream, it's going to have to be during an all-day stream or something where I'm streaming early. The emoji is a pregnant man, insinuating I have a very... Oh! Oh, I see. Weird. On OBS, it didn't render the emote. It just looks like a volleyball. Kind of looks like a weird volleyball for some reason. Like a half moon. Like a circle, white circle with like some slices in it. Very much not what it's supposed to be, I'm sure. I can see it on my phone actually when I look at the chat there. That it's using the correct emote. I don't know why the OBS window is not. You know, that's the funny thing with like official Twitch emotes versus like Twitch emotes or like emotes from channels or whatever, like from Discords, versus like built-in emotes is that they will always look different based on what device you're using. Oftentimes, anyway. Are you a Mac or a PC guy? PC. Never owned a Mac. I've not really had much cause to try before. By the way, we need to get this bonus. And I believe now that we did that, we can get out. I've never owned a Mac, no. Well, maybe as like a very, very small child, I owned a Mac. Like, and that was probably like before Steve Jobs came back to Apple Mac, you know, not really a modern Mac. But you know, I'm happy with my PC. I'm happy having a PC. I feel like I couldn't really get get used to a Mac. I do use an iPhone though. Are people still pretty strong on Macs? I feel like people haven't talked about Macintosh computers in like do you still call it a Macintosh or you just call it a Mac? I feel like people haven't talked about Macs or MacBooks or all that in like around about 10 years. I feel like people are a little more ambivalent on that now. Those ones. Are people still big into them? Maybe MacBooks specifically rather than like the desktop ones. You have a MacBook Pro, but it was given to you as a gift. My understanding of all that is this like, well, you know, I feel like the price is a lot of it. You know, as far as I know, like for the same price, a comparable PC versus a MacBook is like double. So it's a little, I think it's a little much to ask for a lot of people. Fuck. Difficult level. Okay, I just want to get through this level. Just want to get through this level to get to the next world. I will take it if that's how it goes. I will say I do find the flashes of this level, they come really fast. It can be hard to... What the fuck was that? Don't look right. It's hard to time things sometime in the dark. I made my own kind of version of this. My own kind of version of a dark level with flashing lights. You're gonna bounce, gonna do some math. Good luck on the math. Made my own version of a dark level in Mario Maker. Now that one was actually, took me a while to figure out like how I wanted to do it. But once I did, it came out really fucking well, actually. Basically, I combined the flashing on and off with a platform level, you know, in which you ride a platform. And it turns out riding a platform makes it... Just wanted to see the reaction. Riding a platform makes it so that you can, you know, sort of pace the player, similar in an like you do in an auto-scroller, and you can make it so that when the lights are on, you can see enemies appearing, and then force the player to have to deal with them when the lights are off, which is actually, I feel like, just a really effective way to have it be done, you know, to do that basic gimmick. So long as we get through this boss fight without dying, we'll refresh our tries and be on to the last world of this here game. Since this game does not have any bonus levels, any lost world, any of that. Sounds like a cool idea. Yeah, it came out really well. Also, it was nicely themed, and, you know, had a bit of, had other ideas going on as well. One thing I always believe in Mario Maker and regular platformers, whatever, one thing I learned making a bunch of DKC remakes in Mario Maker was that none of the levels I chose to remake had one idea. All of them were like several ideas interplayed with each other. And, you know, I think that's just really important to coming up with a good level. Interplay of like 2 or 3 or 4 ideas. And also, when you get halfway through a level, make sure to introduce a new idea. That's the perfect time for it. Right after the checkpoint, it's time for a new idea. Something to challenge the player and say like, hey, you haven't seen everything yet. Check this shit out. What are you going to do now? It's also just it's always a good idea to mix things up, but after a checkpoint, that's just the best possible time to do it. I still can't believe Arby's was, you know, I guess they don't deliver like within 20 minutes of closing. Too bad. Alas. Either that or it had like the wrong location or something, which would be equally fucked. You know, maybe it was ordering from... No, that's ridiculous. That wouldn't be it. I was about to say maybe it was ordering from Arby's in a different time zone, but that couldn't be it, right? No, I'm sure Grubhub chose the right Arby's when I was setting that all up. Maybe in a big long stream. You know what? Next big long stream, I'll put up another... we'll try it again next big long stream. And also, I will, you know, do what I usually do and eat before stream o'clock on next stream. Which, by the way, haven't had much opportunity for cards. Tomorrow, I'm doing because my schedule is a little weird this week with Labor Day. Tomorrow, I'm doing viewer levels, as I usually do on Monday, but I'm now doing it on Wednesday because of Labor Day. Viewer levels tomorrow, and during said viewer levels, after viewer levels, I'll be starting my next, you know, full playthrough, full Let's Play, you know. I'll be starting my next one, which will be GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. Recently picked that up. I was, coincidentally, and quite luckily, it was on sale. So I was able to get a good deal for it. I missed a bonus. I need to go back in and get it. Where the fuck is the bonus in this level? Did I even get a single bonus? I feel like I might have missed multiple. Keep an eye out for bonus barrels hidden at the edges of the screen, I guess. We can also check if, you know, I allow myself, if I were to miss the bonus several times, to check DKC Atlas, which, by the way, shout out to DKC Atlas. Fantastic website. Complete maps of all 3 games in the, you know, SNES side of the table. Have I lost a life yet in this world? No, I haven't. This is the first level after all. There should be one by the halfway point, and here we are at the halfway point. That really makes me feel like we missed one. But I don't see... I didn't see where one would be. Unless it's just, like, cleverly hidden off-screen in a blind spot. I would never besmirch math, Paul, by the way, if you're still... If going to have to do math was a joke, never would besmirch math. I'll say, like, my... You know, my ma, she teaches math, so, you know... And, you know, it's a lot of what she talks about. You know, it's very important to her, so I would not go so far as to just besmirch it, no. Yeah, I definitely missed something. Where exactly is it? Okay, we're gonna check DKC Atlas because I didn't see anywhere where it would be. Let's go to... Nah, we don't need to do that. Is it like below the stage or something? Oh, there... Wait, did I just see it? No, that's another level. It's definitely not down there. I'm gonna go over to the computer. I'm gonna look this up. Okay. Phone a friend here. DKCatlas.com. And let me let me just get that on screen real fast. There it is. There's DKCatlas.com. Lovely website. Go into maps. Go to Tanked Up Trouble. Where the fuck is it? Right below the first corner. Is there any other bonuses? Where in the hell would they be even? Nah, just that first one, I think. Okay. Right, we can get that real fast. Easy enough. Again, DKCatlas.com, very handy resource. If you ever want to look over the layout of a DKC level, it's very handy to be able to do so, and to, you know, for many purposes. One, just like finding your way around, and two, you know, if ever you are stuck in a level, that's not. If you're stuck, that's one use for it. But also, you know, if you just want to look over and figure out, like, okay, what about this level works? How is it structured? For your own purposes, you know, I know a lot of my viewers, they do Mario Maker. Looking at these maps is very helpful to maybe figuring out why DKC is so fucking good, and trying to take what lessons you can for your Mario Maker stuff. Go back over the couch. Okay. I knew it was... Well, I didn't know, but... Jesus Christ, you can't even fucking see it. For those ones, I feel like I feel justified in checking. I can't be jumping into pits given I have only 2 lives to go on. It has to be like a barrel I can actually see like the top poking out for me to feel safe about hopping on in. Like here, there's literally nothing. Not sure how you know, found it back in the day, how people found that back in the day, but you know, sometimes games be like that. I'll always say that I don't think the first DKC is perfect. It's much more rough than the later games as far as like the design goes, as far as like the fairness goes, and also of course there's no bonus content that you find that you unlock from doing the bonuses, which is, you know, less developed, less which means that it's a little just less, there's less there than in later entries. You know, can't help it. It was first. Makes sense that it would be earlier versions of the ideas that would make later games, you know, more and more good. Necessarily have a problem with that. There we go. Damn, I'm hungry. See ya, Rambi. I think that'll be it for... No! Oh, fuck you! Oh my god. I took a hit, and then the platform kept on going. Fuck. I was about to say I don't think there'll be any real trouble, but sure enough, some shit happened. Jump over shit good. Don't really have any more wiggle room here. We gotta do it, and we gotta do it proper. And we can't stop until we get to the end of the world. Shit. But fortunately, there's a bonus right here. This is a weird bonus because it actually takes you to a place you can see. unlike other bonuses in the game. And also, you can just run around and re-enter it if you so want. Also, it doesn't really play the bonus music. Very bizarre bonus. Okay, there's just a statue up there. I think I needed that. I need that barrel. There's another bonus here. Or a bonus. Maybe that one doesn't count as a bonus. I think the music is restarting too. It's hard to tell because the music is so subdued, but it is restarting its loop upon entering or exiting. I guess that's not a door. All right. Whew, we got some hard levels left, and also a reasonably hard boss. Our work cut out for us here. Oh, what the fuck? I didn't know the DK barrel could kill those guys. I thought only a TNT could. Sure enough, it doesn't matter what denomination of barrel you're using. It can kill those guys. Huh. Good to know. Yeah, just any barrel. No idea. It's fun. It's interesting. You can learn something about a game you played dozens of times. Something you never knew before. There's always stuff to find. I guess I've just never tried to bang a barrel into them. I guess I typically just throw the regular DK barrel as soon as I get it. Just, you know, focus on using the TNTs for those guys. Like there's another bonus here. But don't know where it would be. Yeah, that was... Yep. Probably in the first half. Isn't it like in a pit or something? Probably thinking of another level. Keep an eye out for pits. You can't actually go down there. I feel like I might have missed it. I feel like there was a part over the rope that was kind of suspicious. Usually, if one barrel's in the first half, the other one will be in the second half, and I already know second half barrel. So that is rather suspect. Still, I will try running barrels into walls. That wall looked really suspicious. This wall right there. I need to get a barrel for that one. For that, I need to reset. We can just bounce back in. I think I might know. I think it's that wall. That wall and that little pit looks mighty suspicious. I just have to not waste that TNT barrel, and we should be able to get why you don't collect 3 of those. Tell you what. I will allow myself a little rewind to not deal with that. Yes! Okay, that's it. That's right. Ooh. Fantastic. It's weird how the sub-goal thing doesn't update quite right. I think after yesterday, or not yesterday, on Sunday, Rock Party resubscribed, and it didn't update immediately, but it looks like it now has updated to reflect Rock Party resubscribing, which is fun that it took a whole couple days for that to update. Very annoying. Because, like, when it doesn't, I'll totally try to account for that and say, like, oh yeah, well, we met it. Just based on the numbers that I see, but... Or like, try to calibrate, or like, especially include, like, okay, well, there was one from Rock Party that wasn't being counted. Now it is being counted, so... I have to modify the count. Hope that is one of many things they are looking to improve about Twitch. It's a bit annoying. Could also do a follower goal. I've never done a follower goal before. I don't know. Like, I feel like if I were to do a follower goal, I would want it to be a really high one, right? Because, you know, I'm gonna get to whatever threshold of followers eventually, if, you know, knock on wood, if like Mario Maker continues to get people in the door, you know, viewer levels especially, eventually we'll hit like 400. I'm sure I will eventually hit like 400, 500, etc. So like if I were to do a goal, it would be for like 500, I think. But is that really interesting? Because that's just sort of the thing you just, at least my perspective is, you just stream consistently, and you'll eventually land them followers one at a time. And again, maybe a follower goal encourages people who are just lurking to drop a follow. Which, by the way, I'll say I encourage y'all to drop a follow. If you're not already. Most, I imagine, are. We missed both bonuses. Well, no, we got one of them. We got the one right at the start. There's some bonus in the second half. Probably involves a barrel and a wall. That would be my guess. Either that or a tie-up. It'd be easy to make a... I say easy. It'd be possible to make a Mario Maker level using this basic conceit, right? Lights turning on and off after you hit some sort of trigger, which causes a sound effect to turn the lights on. The only thing is that, one, the sound effects aren't really that long, so it would be... You wouldn't be able to necessarily chain multiple of them together to make such a large swath of you know, lit area, basically. And the other thing is that even if you could, maybe you put them closer together, it would maybe be irritating to have so many... I feel like we need the barrel. So many sound effects going off in short succession. Well, that's always the thing with Mario Maker. There's a lot of clever ways you can do all sorts of creative stuff, but there is just a limit on, like, some ideas just won't work in Mario Maker. Right? Like, you can never have stuff that just isn't in the game. Like, you can never have a proper minecart level in Mario Maker where you know, have to go forward and no choice but. Well, I guess you could in that you could have it. Okay, that was not a wall with a bonus in it. That was foolish. And also the second life. What is this world called again? Chimpy Caverns? Let me see. Chimp Caverns. Alright. Time to save. That is Chimp Caverns. We died. Dang. I'm gonna go to the computer, update the thing, move us to the next game. In fact, I'll move us to DKC2 right now. Load up the save. Refresh our lives. For DKC2. Alright. We're getting down to it, folks. There's not that much left in each of these games. Just like 2 or 3 levels in each of them. So, I think we are well within range of finishing this all tonight. I died in Chimp Caverns. DKC. Died Chimp Caverns. Just leave out the end. Perfect. That works. That fits. Keep going. Oh. I need to update the game. Donkey Kong Country 2. Alright, back to DKC2. First time tonight we're doing DKC2. I gotta beat this bird, then I gotta get the bonus from the first half of the level, which we missed the first time. And then, it'll be boss time. K. Rool. Captain K. Rool. As before, as always, when we beat this boss, we refresh our lives, which means that, hey, we only have to beat 1 level and do 1 boss before we refresh our lives next, so, you know, that's pretty nice for us, isn't it? Let's keep at it. Let's do this shit. Let's go. There's a shortcut through there through the brambles. I don't want to fuck around with it. Too risky. Fuck. So long as I'm not seeing the bad bird, I can probably relax a little bit. Not go so fast I bang my head into the sides. Or to the bees. Oh, that's the race. Good. Whew. Got it. We didn't even see the bird, so there was really no need to get careless there and get hurt. Back here again, we gotta get the bonus real fast before we proceed. And to get the bonus, we will need both of our Kongs. If we lose a Kong, I will say, we will have to, you know, exit. Exiting doesn't count as a death unless I actually die. Keep that in mind. I know that's a bit of a cop-out, but it is what it is. I mean, if I can't get the bonus, I gotta do a thing so I can. And this requires both of your Kongs, and there's no DK barrel beforehand. Go. Perfect. Last bonus game in the game. I should have 14 after this. 14 coins. I'll have to beat Bowser. I'm gonna have to beat K. Rool to get the last one. I'm gonna have to beat K. Rool, Captain K. Rool, for the last token. But that's no big deal. We have 2 tries to do it. What could go wrong? You can just fall after getting all the way over here. Here we cannot fall. We gotta glide carefully over here. Roll jump there. That's funny that this one actually requires you to know how to do roll jumps. The rest of the game does, you know, obviously does not require any such knowledge. Let me check some stuff real quick before we go into the boss. Let me see. Yes, 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 yes. Everything is complete. Everything is good. We're good to go. Let's go into the duel. Let's beat K. Rool. This might be the first game that we actually complete at this rate. Certainly looks like it. I'm fucking nervous. This boss fight is hard. It's well done though. You know, I like the idea of avoiding bullets and like, you know, multiple bullets and projectiles and stuff to avoid all at once. Like here you have to deal with the landmines as well as K. Rool going back and forth. It's a pretty clever way to put multiple things on screen to avoid. You know, you have to deal with multiple things all at once. Also, every phase you get a DK barrel that lets you take a hit somewhere in the battle and recover it. You know. I will say I don't like the last bit where you... I find the last bit where you have to, like, run away from an invisible K. Rool. That part's hard. I find that part to be quite challenging, and I'm really anxious about getting to there. Really anxious about that bit. Also, of course, the poison clouds. It is also really challenging. I'll say, in contrast to the second Baron K. Rulenstein duel, I do think the second duel against the captain is a cooler fight than the first fight. You know. There, if you got hit, that would freeze you or something. So you need to make sure to not get hit. Ooh. Couple more hits left. Doing quite well. No hits yet. No damage taken. I'm gonna put Diddy out in front here, just in case. I guess I could have swapped after. Fuck. I could have swapped after. Oh, and we also we didn't lose a life, so we were totally good even if it did take 2 tries. Oh, that is another one of these bosses done. Main bosses. You know you do well, but you know, we did learn from Cranky. We learned from the best. It is true. You've rescued Donkey Kong and dumped K. Rool in the sea in his own swamp. Not bad for a novice. That's right. Of course, if it was him, he would have got the Lost World and done that whole business. I have found all the Krem coins, Cranky. I'm on my way to the last level now. Animal Antics. Coming soon to this year's stream. I've gotten 20 or 38, I believe. 38 coins. That means no, obviously I haven't got the last one or the one that's in Animal Antics. So 38. Should be 38. I've got a second screen. About time too. That's right, back then. Back in the day, having a single screen was a big deal. Back in Cranky Kong's day. That's right, 38. Alright, we still have to do the final thing. You can press the top left and top right buttons while you're on any of the map screens. That's a weird way to say L and R. I guess back then, just like saying the name of a button was less common. That's not true, because there are places where like L or R is written in bananas. You want to do the same thing we did last time when we finished DKC3 and just try to identify the names? Oh, they're gonna put them up. They're putting up the names before the enemy appears, so I can't look smart by saying, oh, that's a Spiny. I can like block my view, I guess. That's Cat Ninetails. Believe me, I'm not looking at the name. That's a Flitter. Believe me, not looking. That's a Mini Necky. That's Zinger. These are all pretty easy. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Tell you what, I'll leave the thing on so y'all can enjoy the credits, this whole bit, and then once we get back, I'll just you know, get us back to the menu, get us back in there to go to the last level. Enjoy. Enjoy the music for a minute. BL Raven Wizard raiding with a party of 2. Sorry, I was in the bathroom and left the thing on while I was doing so. Hey, how you doing? The credits are playing. I just beat DKC2. Hope y'all enjoyed watching those and seeing like, oh, what's that guy's name? It's Funky. How you doing? What were you playing, BL Raven Wizard? Let me do a thing and give you a shout out. Thank you. Thank you for the raid. I always say this, but I love your name. BL Raven Wizard. It's very fun to say. Let me give you that shout out. Shout out BL Raven Wizard. You were last playing Pac-Man World. The new port of it? Nice. That's interesting. Interesting choice. Hope you enjoyed the rockets when when that happened. I'm gonna put a save slot here just in case. Just in case I need to reload this for some reason. I don't see why I would. Chris Seaver, I know that guy. These credits had some names you know. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for bringing your folks here. How was the Pac-Man? Are you here, BL Raven Wizard? Yeah, there you are. There you are. How you doing? Let me tell you what I'm doing. I am doing DKC 1, 2, and 3, and basically I give myself 2 lives to do it, refreshing at bosses, and if I fail, if I lose both my lives, I have to switch to the next game. I am nearly to the end of DKC, of all 3 games, really. So, you know, I think we might be finishing it right here, right now. I just have to pay up, go over there to the other side, and, you know, Animal Antics. This is one of the hardest levels there is. If I'm someone who has never played that game, is this something that I would like? By the way, 3D platformers, you like them? You should check out Tinykin if you haven't. Tinykin is phenomenal. But as someone who likes 3D platformers, should I be interested? I might have rented it at some point, maybe. It's possible, you know, like when that game was out, right? That was definitely the era where I was going to Blockbuster and renting games. I think I probably played like a. There's other games I can remember from that era, which I think I might have played, but were so middling I can't really remember much details. Like, there was like a nobody. What's the Bond movie that like they did a GameCube game of, and it wasn't very good, and you were kind of expecting it to be good after like GoldenEye, like Nobody Lives Forever, nobody. No, whatever that movie was, I think it was the one with the car. Whatever that movie was, they did like a game for it, and it was quite mediocre. I think at least on GameCube, where the C-stick really isn't suited isn't really suitable for shooters. Bonus-wise, by the way, if you're wondering if you know this level, if you don't, bonus-wise, there's only one bonus in here to get the one of the last DK coins. And what we have to do is in this area here, there's a point at the very end where you can go over the exits, and that's where the DK coin is, right here. The DK coin / bonus. Tell me about it. Like, you just play as Pac-Man, or is it like one of those? Is it like one of those games where there's like a bunch of playable characters with different stuff? I'm betting just Pac-Man, but I could definitely see. You could definitely do a version of that where you played as like multiple dudes. This is Bash the Baddies, right? Yes, Bash the Baddies. DK coin get. Let's go into the final bit here. That's not true. This is the second to last bit. Still one of the later bits. I'm happy to hear you had fun with Pac-Man. I'll say I'm I wouldn't be opposed to getting that, but right now I'm a little busy with everything else. You know, Splatoon is coming out on Friday. Got that. Currently going to be replaying GTA 5 starting tomorrow after some Mario Maker. By the way, again, Mario Maker is tomorrow this week because Labor Day. Your classic wind level. After Mario Maker will be GTA 5. We'll getting into that and we'll see how far we get. Very cinematic game, but I'm looking forward to seeing all that cinematics. Took a hit. Go with the flow here. Woo! We haven't lost a life yet, so I could absolutely lose a life and not be in hot water quite yet, but damn, it feels good to get through that in one go. I do have only one Kong right now, so I do have to be the slightest bit careful. God damn, that's... Fuck! I'm gonna say that's the hardest part. That might be the hardest part in any DKC game. That squawk section. Damn it. Second try. Got through the hardest part, but the rattly parts, you know, hey, you do not get another Kong back after that, so, you know, make your life count. Make your Kongs count there. Rough. Rough. God damn it. Couldn't hit that guy, but still could damage me. This part's pretty easy, so why don't I pull up another card? I haven't pulled up very many of those today. I'm looking forward to the Psychonauts 2 documentary. Yeah, they announced that like way beforehand, before the game came out, and it's still not out yet. And you know, everyone's, me included, is wondering when that'll be. Looking forward to it. You know, when they started up development of Psychonauts 2, there was a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. And since the game came out, there's been... That kind of stopped after a while because they didn't want to spoil it. But now the game's been out a while. I've seen it all. And I'm very curious now about, like, what other heads were considered. What other levels could there have been? You know, did they ever... Small spoiler for Psychonauts 2. Did they ever consider a level for Otto? You know, was there ever a Sasquatch level? Were there characters that were supposed to have head levels but didn't in the final game? I'm very curious about all of that. Once that information comes out, I'll be interested to consume it and find out. Carefully. I bet that's gonna be fascinating. Fuck! God damn it. Okay. Rattly part again. Only have the one Kong. There's not like an extra DK barrel over the left, is there? No, why would there be? Ugh. Okay, good. Finally. One life to go into K. Rool on. To go into Crocodile Core. Let's do it. This is just one big, long sequence of avoiding projectiles, projectiles, projectiles. Until you can cash it in and get one. He just goes nutty with it. Just fuck. Projectiles, projectiles, projectiles. Should have led with Diddy Kong. Fuck. Oh, fuck me. No. Fuck! You can't go under it. God damn, that was close. One miscalculation there. That's... Alright. Alright, I'm gonna switch games. Let's switch back to DKC3. Whoops. Switch back to DKC3. Gotta add it to the thing. Alright, jeez, I am tense. I am tense after that. Died in Lost World DKC2. Donkey Kong Country 3. Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Let's do it. Let's finish this off. Let's see. Dixie Kong Head and Kitty Kong Head are in effect. We got both of them. Heading back to the couch now. Let's go. Oh. We are resuming from Swoopy Swallow. We have gotten through most of it. We had gotten through most of it. Well, I say most of it. We had gotten nearly to the halfway point. Then there's the one bit that's probably infamous for a lot of reasons that I got to and unfortunately wasn't able to do. Maybe I should, you know, it would be the safe way to do it. The safe way to do it is if I take a hit and lose my Kong before that part to just mosey on and just do the normal way and come back on a second play for... Did I get that the first time? I don't remember. Does this look familiar? Okay, we're gonna go in there and see if it looks familiar. Oh yeah, it's familiar. Yep. Also, there was no way to die suddenly to get us out of there. But hey, you know, what are you gonna do? Alright. I went for that one the first time, that banana, thinking it might be something, but it was just a coin, a Brothers Bear coin. I really like in these games how there's like optional collectibles to get, all of which just gets you like you know, you use it for currency to buy things. You could definitely, if people out there, the folks at home, are making 3D platformers of your own, you could definitely turn that into something. What? Cautious here. We'll come back for that. There's definitely a bonus in there, I think. But we can come back for it. I don't want to fuck around if I'm not 100% sure, 1000% sure that we have to. There's no way to get back up, is there? No, there wouldn't be. I mean, it's too high. Too high for a teamed up throw to get you up there. I'm gonna trust that that was nothing. There's nothing in those, between those zingers, those buzzes. Sorry. No offense meant to buzzes. You're quite distinct from zingers. This is a good level to look at for an example of a level that changes entirely in the second half. You know, the first half is all flying, and the second half is all, you know, on foot. You couldn't get any more of a textbook example of like a level that turns on its head midway through and changes all the ideas while still remaining true to its basic concept of there's a bunch of fucking birds that are being really annoying. I think there was a DK barrel, but it's behind us. There's one. Good. And if ever you're making a, if ever you're making a Mario Maker level, this is just a good way to structure it, you know? Just have a big change midway through that changes things up in a huge way. And has like a big swing effect. Okay, so there was definitely one between those bees. Get it now. And, if I screw it up, I now have the option of just going, okay, we're out of here. Which, will save us a little bit of trouble. A bit of... Does killing these guys not cause a noise? Yeah, they're silent when they die. Isn't that weird? Most enemies go like... Or like, yeah, like that. Most enemies make a funny noise. Even those guys that don't die, if you hit them, they'll go like... Well, I can't tell you what they... No, actually, they don't make a noise. They went like... Meow. Maybe that's like the invincible zingers. There are invincible zingers, right? Like in the original DKC2, the red ones are invulnerable to attack. Yeah, but in the original DKC, that's not the case. That's right. That's the distinction. Red zingers in DKC, you can't kill them. Red zingers in DKC2, you can't. There we go. Just had to book it to the barrel before my invincibility frames ended. Gotta be careful of these guys. Keep an eye, keep awareness, keep in mind which one's coming next, and don't dawdle in its path. One more left. Beautiful. That's 25, so that might be it. I'm gonna get the checkpoint just in case, but I'm pretty sure that's all we need. Yep. Yepers. That is all we need to get to the final level in the game, the final actual level, which, obviously we have one try to do. Oh boy. Yeah, I got him, though. Let's do it, Boomer. Blow that shit up. And that unlocks the last level here. Allows us to go to it. I wonder when we can get the flower for bear. That bear. Last level. This is mostly going to be an auto-scroller, but it is going to be somewhat difficult. It is somewhat unforgiving. We have to get this right. This first part is not going to be too hard. There's also no bonuses in this one, since we have... Fuck! I forgot. Oh, wait a minute. I still have 2 lives. I forgot. Oh, I thought I had 2 lives. You've been watching on Lurks for a while. You're gonna take a nap? That's a good idea. Joy. Oh, not a nap. You're gonna take now, sup man. Talk now. Oh, there you go. That's what you meant to say. Hey Wes, what's going on? I'm in a very hard level. I'm in a very hard level, and I have 1 try before I have to go back to the first DKC. In this level, your fuel is limited, so you want to be somewhat judicious with it. You can't just blow it. Just burning up these bees. Also, when you use the fuel, it kills the bees because the fire... Okay, here we go. Up. We're going up now. Fuck! We can only bang our heads like once, I think. Or else it's all over. Yes! Oh my god. I think that was about as close as it can get with how many times we banged. We banged our head there. Jesus Christ. We just unlocked the boss of the world. Take a look outside, you won't believe it. How was your Tuesday, Wes? I don't know if you're in the United States, if you have, if this is a I don't know if yesterday was Labor Day for you, like it was for me, but I hope you had a really good Labor Day if it was. And I hope you did absolutely nothing, no work whatsoever on Labor Day, as is, you know, how it should be. Before I go in there, let me see, is there anything I can do right now? Do you need, how many coins do you need to get the gyrocopter? Someone's told you I've been extra busy? How close are we? There must be one for the final boss. That's funny though that it's 41 DK coins. You'd think it'd be like an even 40. Or, you know, a nice even number. Okay. Let's go. Final boss. Second Baron K. Rulenstein. I will say I don't care for this boss fight nearly as much as I like the original Baron K. Rulenstein fight. This one's a lot more mid for me. Fuck. Fuck, you can't go under. No problem. No problem, Wes. I understand. It's all good. I lost a life. Such is Krematoa. I'm gonna do the save. I'm gonna put the thing over there. And we're back to the first DKC. I told you that boss was not my favorite. It's true. I do not like that boss very much. Died in Krematoa DKC. We got like one hit in on him before just blowing it entirely. Gotta jump over him. Lessons learned. I told you I replayed the first Baron K. Rullenstein fight again and again and again. Did not for this fight. No, never was a fan. Back to Donkey Kong Country 1. Okay. Shit. We are on the final boss fight of two of these games. Now, let's get to the final boss fight of the first of them. We got like a couple levels to go. I just gotta do loopy lights and get the actual bonus, which I was having trouble finding last time I was here. If I can't find it before hitting the end here, I'll look it up in that case. I'm worried that I need that barrel to hit into this wall. That's my worry. I'm worried that that's the bonus. Seems like such a likely thing, don't it? Yeah, let's bail out and start over. I think that's gonna be it. I got a feeling. I got a really good feeling that's gonna prove to be the thing that we need to do. Context, you're messing around with a train set from the 1980s era, so roughly 43 years of age, and it's back then, it wasn't as shock-proof as it was now. So you got an electric shock, not like a metaphorical shock. Literal bit of static electricity on you. Fucking what? The nut destroyed my barrel. I killed the vulture with one barrel, and a nut destroyed the other one. That ain't right. Wait a minute. Is the bonus up there? No, that's nothing. That's nothing. I thought that was maybe a bonus, but I think it was just a light fixture. Steel alloy is a pain in the ass. Okay, you know what? We'll try to get through just this barrel. Okay, we turned on the lights so we can see. There it is. There it is. Yes. It was right on the money. That's where the bonus was. And we got that again. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. Fuck it. No, I can't just start and exit. Pro tip for those who are playing the game for the first time. What you want to do is you want to get as much as possible here. Just, you know, do all this business. Then when you're sure you're done, pretty much, go up to the right side, go over the wall, get this one. That multiplies by 2, so you're gonna get more lives. I mean, I don't know if, like, steel alloy, speaking of which, I must switch nickel steel newer lined track so that doesn't happen. You're gonna switch to a different track to avoid static electricity. Neat. I do think it's cool how this area, these bonuses have like hidden areas where you can get like a double multiplier. Not that cool. I think that'll do it. Yes, that's all we needed for Loopy Lights. Coincidentally, that was the one we were trying to get when we died last time. This one, there's a hidden platform literally off the screen. Man, imagine if I was blind. Imagine if I was playing this without knowing all this shit mostly ahead of time. And just having to figure out, like, how the fuck you get over there on 2 lives. That would be, not possible. No. You'd need an exemption once you got... Well, if this was your first time going through, you would need an exemption on, like, any second time just to jump into pits to find bonuses. Because, well, there's a couple places where you need to jump into pits to find bonuses. Lionel is the name of the train company, silver nickel silver, and is better to deal with than steel alloy. Neat. So these trains, they're like older trains, sort of like what are they, like cargo trains, or what's the deal with the trains? I'll say I've never gotten into model trains, though I do think it's very cool, like people who have like whole sets of them, like lining in their garage or whatever. I think that's really neat. I should have just jumped over. I don't know why I didn't just think to jumping over would be safe. Going under would be... It is actually more risky. I did... Near me is a video game history museum, which I went to recently in order to get a bunch of pictures with an amiibo. Don't ask. And once I got those pictures of me and the amiibo, seeing the sights, again, don't ask, I went over next door where they had a whole train, a big, large train exhibition that was like really big, and a bunch of trains going around the whole room. Beautiful mountain scenery, all in miniature, and it was really cool. Would recommend anyone, I guess, check that out. What's this? Is that anything? No, I don't think that's anything. I don't think that's a hint. That's more of a trap than a hint. Mixes of both. I'm using a newer engine from 2016 with the older carts. The old engine needs some work done with it. Done to it. Gotcha. Definitely one of the harder levels in the game. You really have to react pretty quickly each time and throw the barrel without fucking it up, or else you're gonna be in trouble, because these guys, they're immune to everything but barrels. Fuck. I freaked out when I saw that beaver. I knew in the back of my head that the last one was not actually going to be a big guy, but I still made the wrong move and reacted poorly. We're just short of the final boss in DKC1. Back to DKC2. Doing the things again. Donkey Kong Country 2. Change the text to say, died Chimp Caverns DKC. And change game. Yep, updated. There's junk in the gear system because it's not moving. It wants to, but it's not. Gotcha. Going back to the couch now. Alright, I've saved. It is now time to go back to DKC2. Return from a save point. Second go. Oh, let me pull up the lives again. Second go, this K. Rool fight. This time I'm going to start off with Diddy Kong so that if we lose the thing, we're continuing it with Dixie. So, you know, a little easier for us as a result, I think. The whole thing here is that we gotta avoid a whole bunch of junk. And basically last time, we made it to very nearly the end. We were almost done. Almost. Jesus. There's gonna be 1, 2, 3. These projectiles are really cool to dodge. Really good idea for a challenge. Up. Up. Down. Okay, okay, we still have Dixie. And there's the barrel. Done! DKC2 is completed. There we go. There we go, folks. That's the first one of the 3. I'm gonna go to the computer. I'm gonna put that into the things. You notice that whole section over there, down there, is called victories, is called defeats and triumphs. Well, that's because now that we've beaten DKC2, we can put in the following. Beat DKC2. How many cycles, how many rotations did that take? 1, 2, 3. Wait. Oh, 1, 2. You know what? Let me add DKC2 to. There's one where I say RIP. Let me put that and make that say DKC2 instead, a little more clear. The island has been destroyed. Look at that, isn't that nice? Pine Valley, DKC. Oh, it's a beautiful sunset. We have earned this. Folks, that is DKC2. There's 2 games left. Let me... I got an idea here. 1 second. Make a little line here. And just go ahead and put it over DKC2 because DKC2 is no longer in the rotation. How does that look? DKC2 has been defeated. Completed. Whole thing. Hell yes. Let's go. With that, it is time now to go to DKC3 and hopefully do the same thing. By the way, should we defeat 2 of the games, 2 of the 3 games, we will be replacing one of the games with instead of once there's only 1 game in the rotation, Donkey Kong 64 Randomizer will take up the space of whatever game is left, you know, as an alternative, and I'll have to get 2 golden bananas before returning. Kind of looks like we'll get there. But maybe we'll get through clean and we won't actually have to do that at all. If only it's kind of looking like all these are really all synced up around the same part of the game. So let's do it. Go back over to DKC3, and yeah, I'm gonna put in now Donkey Kong Country 3. Let's go. Let's do it. And say goodbye to the Diddy and Dixie heads. Unfortunately, this will be the last time you see them, though they can appear in Mario Maker as a low likelihood bonus head. So you might see these heads again sometime. They are in that pool. They are not gone forever. Just very, very rare. Which suits them, isn't it? That's the name of the company. Name of the company. DKC3 heads are up. 2 tries on the board. Let's do it. The Baron himself is here. Mr. Baron K. Rollenstein. We gotta drop a... That was too late. We gotta drop a barrel on his head. Okay, we totally could have taken a second shot at that. I just didn't want to get caught in the electricity. If I was mistaken. Too slow. Alright, you son of a bitch. I'm up here this time, so you can't get me. Well, I will say one thing. It's still rule of 2. I only have to get 2 hits on him before he fucks off. Another thing weird about this boss is that... Okay, now you gotta get 2 hits before he'll come over and, you know, fight you. Dropped it on his head. That's not good enough. Too slow. Oh, I hate this boss. So much of it is just like, either you get the timing or you don't. And if you don't get the timing, just like dodge things for like a minute. That was too soon. Dodge things for a minute. Yeah, we were too late in that case. We couldn't have gotten it if we tried. So much of it is just wait until the window and then like time it correctly. Fuck. Okay, the moving platform is the thing now. Too soon. I lost Kiddy Kong. Now, during this phase, there's like thunderbolts that are gonna come out, and you gotta go to the side of them. Okay, you gotta throw up. Fuck you. You gotta throw up. God. And also, you can't run, because if you run, you'll pick up the barrel, and that's no good. You pick up the barrel, it's all screwed. And also, the screen doesn't go really far enough to let you actually see the barrel or see the spark until it's too late, so you kind of have to be, like, scrolling the screen around to make sure you know where the fucking thing is. Ugh. This is like the only time in the trilogy where you need to walk. And it's not very fun, I don't think. Fuck! There was no way around that. Just, it was coming. I couldn't, if I ran, I'd pick up the barrel and kill myself. And if I walked, I couldn't make it in time. Garbage. This boss is garbage. This is maybe the worst boss in the series. I'll say, you know what, I won't say the series. I'll say in the original 3. I hate this boss. I'll say there's worse boss fights in Donkey Kong Country Returns. That game, man, its boss fights go on way too long. This definitely goes on too long, but it doesn't... It's not that too long. God damn, I would love to never do this one on stream ever again after tonight. That is my goal here. Beat this one and never, ever deem to play it again live on air. Because I hate it so. Or at the very least, to just cheese it the fuck out of it and use the rewind, you know? And just be able to just go like, okay, well, you gonna do your bullshit? Well, I'm gonna... And also, it's a maddening thing because, like, yeah, if this had come out in an era where they had screens that, you know, let you see the whole arena at once, like a 16 by 9 or like a 16 by 9 screen, this wouldn't be a problem. But DKC3 didn't have those kinds of screens, so it is a problem. There's the barrel. Fuck off, dude. There we go. We defeated the guy. We did the thing. That is the boss fight done. And boss fights do recharge our thing. So, you know, we're back up to 2. But also there's not that much of this game left. There's nothing where I actually can die. So, at this point, we just have to round up a couple of banana birds that we didn't get. Specifically ones that you can't get until the very end. Belch's burrow here. Right here. There we go. I appreciate things like this where, like, just a random corner of the map. I think I fucking... My notes... Oh, there. That was right. Okay. I got one of the characters wrong, and I was like, wait, that's that wrong? That's right? And, well, I'm glad I still put it in right, regardless of my crummy notes. There we get the Get the flower, give you the flower. Have a flower. Good deal. I give you a flower, you can have I can have a banana bird. That's a good trade, I think. Right, it's still pretty early. I said before that I would be doing, if we met the sub goal, we would be doing, the movie around 11:30, which means we are just about on time if we were to do that, but I'm thinking we'll just be able to just, we'll carry on if we don't meet it. X, Y, X, B, B, X, B, X, X, Y, X, B, B, X, B, X. There's like a little bit of input delay. You can't just put it in, like, you can't just mash it in as fast as you can go. Let's see, I think there's one more up here. Is this all the last one that's in the game? Y, Y, B, X, X, B, A, Y, A. That was an A. I'm sorry, my A looked like an X that I wrote while not looking. You should see my handwriting, it's terrible, especially when I'm X, X, B, Y, A, Y, B, X. Hang on. Look at this handwriting. Look at this handwriting, folks. It's this one, right? I put that there for food. But look at how some of those X's you can't tell from A's, or A's from X's. That's because I was writing those while staring at the crystals themselves, so as to not miss one. Ooh. Do we have them all? I think we might. She'll say, "Hurry, yes, you found all my children." Perfect. I'm gonna go back to the couch. Ugh. Now we'll head back to the save cave, and the children will take care of the rest. Don't worry about your boat. Just go. Just go. Take the birds. We're gonna free the bird. Back what I miss. I finished DKC3. This here is the end of DKC3. I got all these birds. The birds are gonna release the magical Queen Banana Bird. At which point, which for somehow, K. Rool has imprisoned behind a magic wall. Which I don't know how that magic wall works, but it keeps him imprisoned. And then we're gonna chase down K. Rool. I'm just kidding around. I'm not doing anything. It plays itself. Somehow he got a hold of our hovercraft, which is fun. But his joyride will not last for long. There we go. There we go. That is DKC3, 103%. It's actually more than 100%, but you know what I mean. This is all 100%. Fully completed, this game. And let's see what the thing is. I finished it in 3 hours, 15 minutes, which, you know, it's a good deal slower, actually, than my last best time. I guess, which is fun. I guess, you know what, that would probably be because probably because I was not so cautious last time in 2020. Was not so cautious that I would you know, take everything nice and slow rather than take a death and lose progress. Also, it's not that big a divide. Hell yeah, folks. I'm gonna go to the couch, or sorry, I'm gonna go to the computer, and I'm going to enter some stuff. We gotta take care of some housekeeping before we go on to the next game. Again, say goodbye to these lovely DKC3 heads, but they can appear during Mario Maker as well. They are not so gone, only very rare, you know. These heads will be back, I am sure, some point. What is this? Not sure what that is, but okay. Okay, let's see here, what we need to do. First off, we need to take this, and at the end, beat DKC3. We got some actual honest-to-God victories here. Now, from here on out, you might notice that we only have one game left, so I'm going to have to make a little change to the arrangement here. DKC and DKC2 and 3 are gone. So instead of that will be DK64 Randomizer. DK64 Rando will replace the games that have been beaten. And also, I'll get rid of this because it's no longer needed. And also, why don't I adjust the fancy line that goes around the whole horn. Make it so that it connects a little better to these two. Damn snap. Stop snapping. Damn it. There, that looks good. Alright. From now on, DKC is... If I lose to both lives in DKC, DK64 Rando will replace the other two games. But hopefully... I'll say hopefully. Hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully we can get through in one go. And in DK64 Rando, we'll have to get 2 golden bananas before we can return and give the last levels of DKC more chances. Alright, I'm going to switch over to DKC. Donkey Kong Country. Actually, let me make sure it's the country. That one, please, and hit it! Alright, folks. We have beaten DKC2 and DKC3. Beaten. That means only one of these games is left, and that is DKC. For this game, now that there's no other games to switch to, DK64 Randomizer is taking the place of DKC, of the other DKCs. So if we lose 2 lives now, we'll have to go over to DK64 Randomizer and get 2 golden bananas before we return. Sound good? Sound good. Platform Perils, 1 boss. But all we have left in DKC is Platform Perils and 2 boss. So it is very possible we could do the whole remainder on these 2 lives. And also, they do refresh should we beat the boss, so we'll be going in with 2 in on K rule in any case. I'm gonna go back to the couch, and let's do it. Platform perils. You know what they say? They say platform at your own peril. I think we saw a bonus, like, right at the end, underneath the final area, right? We might need to risk it to go for it. I don't remember if that's actually a thing, or if we got all the bonuses already. Really, who could say? Not me, that's for sure. This one looks like it could be a bonus, but I don't think it is. I think that's just a banana for the sake of a banana, not hinting at a bonus. I sometimes like to jump before throwing the barrel here, just so that I make sure that it doesn't land on the platform that I'm standing on. But, fuck. You could also do that to just standing pretty far over, so that there's no risk of that. Yep, definitely one more bonus. I think that's right at the end. We got that one already, the one down there. I wouldn't mind at some point just doing like a more casual version of this. I know I'm really good at DKC. Somewhat. I'll say I'm pretty good at DKC, but I wouldn't mind playing with less stakes sometime. These games are so fun. You can play them high stakes, you can play them low stakes, and either way, you'll have a good time. Fuck! Also, there's something down there. I think that was something, right? Let's investigate that. Little platform beneath the stage. Going down. Go. Is there a platform below there? We saw a platform on the way down, right? So, should we, like, ride this down and see? I thought there was a platform! We'll look up where the bonuses are. I can't be jumping into every pit to find them out when I have only 2 lives. That was a short DK64 segment. I'm saving, even though that's not really going to be the thing. Folks, DK64 Randomizer. I have to do two things. Let me see, it's on 5. Give me a second to set that all up. Gonna go back to the couch now. I also need to switch inputs and make sure that the HDMI isn't going to show while I put it on my TV. Basically, take the switch down and switch to the computer. Oh, it's not on TV. Okay, good. One second, my PC gets a little fiddly when I do the thing. That's not supposed to be on screen. Stupid thing. That is definitely too loud. Also, you can't hear it. 1 second. Okay, 1 second here. Audio settings, no. Can I just switch it over to... Yes, I can. And then get this. Get this over to here. And turn on this. Okay. Turns out I need to be a little more careful about the way I'm capturing this, so that the window does not show up when it shouldn't. But whatever. You know, I do have a lot of seeds from Wherein. And you know, it's fine, it's normal. I have those on Wii U and Switch. No, right now, let me explain what's going on right now, BL Raven Wizard. Let me explain what is happening now. Oh, I think the volume is really high, hang on. Like, maybe yay? How's that for volume? Let me explain what's happening now. So, I died in the thing. So, now I have to get, I need 2 more golden bananas to return to DKC. This is because I beat both DKC2 and DKC3. Okay. Makes sense? Makes sense. I'm gonna make that bigger. There we go. And we'll just, let me get the DK64 tracker up. Let's see, where's the tracker? There it is. Move it a little bit. All right, I need 2 bananas to get back and continue on with the other game. I'm gonna grab my controller and then we're gonna do this. You know what? Next time I think I'll play it at the computer rather than switching my TV to you know, have the 64, have the computer on it. That'll probably be faster and smoother in future lives. Alright. Grabbing my controller. Getting it into the right window. I was getting some capture issue when I was trying to capture it directly from the thing using game capture. So I switched to using a, I need to, 1 second, input options, controller. Okay, there's my controller. There we go. Let's go. Adventure, game 1. Wait, what? Okay, game 1 it is. This is DK64 Randomizer. I gotta get 2 golden bananas before I can return. There's one of them right there. I'm starting off with all my guys, and moves are free. That was the first one. What the fuck is the command to get the things, to get the bananas up? I'm trying to remember what my hotkey was. Tell you what, I'll just do this. Oh, you know what? That's why the golden banana thing was small. Because I have to fit in the banana text. I have to fit in the actual bananas. There we go. There's Golden Banana 1. Also, these are randomized loading zones, so we'll see. When we go in a door, we'll go somewhere else. Get some moves here for DK, Diddy, and Chunky. We just need one more. Okay, the barrel. Team Kayla with a raid. Hey, how you... That was Team Kayla, right? How you doing, Team Kayla? I am doing... Let me tell you what I'm doing. I am doing Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. And, basically, every time I die twice, I have to switch games. You might be wondering, then, why I am playing Donkey Kong 64 Randomizer. And the answer is, I just beat DKC2 and DKC3. So, as a result, I have to get 2 golden bananas before I can return to finish off DKC. So, that's the stakes, that's how it works. I need to earn I need to earn my way back. How you doing? How was Gears? Let me give you a shout out, Kayla. Shout out Team Kayla. Gears 5. Did you finish Gears 5? Have you finished your Gears 5 at this point? You know what? I'm fucking getting distracted here. I'm not fucking marking off these things that I'm getting. That was, I'm not sure. Was that the punch? Ooh. That punch? Was not punch. I know this one was the pad. Which was this? There should be a thing in this that tells you what moves you got. So if you look away, you just don't know. I got something. I got something from that. Let's get this one. Peanuts? Okay, peanuts. I know what that one is. So we gotta get 2 golden bananas, and also the loading zones and exit zones, they're randomized, so I go in one place, I'll come out another place. Let's find us one that's real quick. We can probably... You know what, with peanuts, we can probably find something where we can just, you know, open a gate in the overworld and get a golden banana right away. And then we can go back to Donkey Kong Country and beat it. Also, by the way, you'll see at the bottom, there is a sub-goal going. Or, sorry, at the top now, right now. There's a sub-goal going to watch Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa. If we were to meet, get 3 more subs, we would watch that movie. And I am committing to doing that tonight, if that gets me it tonight. Otherwise, you know, we'll figure out a night where it works. Some streams are short and don't make sense to do a watch party at the end of, but you know, this one I'm willing to do it if y'all were to, so, you know, give 3 more. I'll also accept direct donations for those if you prefer to do it that way. That's all good with me. I could get. I don't think. Do I have Chunky's instrument? I wonder. Yes, I have. That's it. That's what I have. I have the... If there is a Chunky pad under one of these... things. 1 second, I have to switch back and forth, it turns out, whenever I'm using this emulator. Okay, that's not Chunky. I don't have that instrument. What about this one? Yes! There we go, that should do it. There's the second banana. That's exactly what I needed. Banana indeed. That's gonna do it for this. I have now gotten the 2 bananas I need. Let me make it appear. Look at that, 2 bananas. 2 very lovely bananas right there. Now I'm gonna go back to DKC, and we're gonna continue on from there. I'm gonna go back to the... set this all up real fast. 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Do this. Do this. And do this. And turn off the computer sounds. And let me switch the game as well. Donkey Kong Country. This is Donkey Kong Country. It's 100%. I have to get all the... I gotta get everything. Did it upgrade? Did it update the stream information? Yes, it did. Okay, good. I gotta get everything. I've gone through this level a couple times and I can't find the things. I'm gonna check a little website called DKCatlas.com, and that's gonna tell us where the thing is. All right. By the way, I hope you liked all those rockets that went by during that raid. That's a relatively new effect. Just went in like a week and a half ago. I think it's pretty neat. The rockets. There's also a similar effect for gifted subs, but you know, hey, whenever we see that, we'll see that, and I think it'll be pretty rad. There's only been a few sub gifts before on this stream that have been more than like 2, but I believe eventually there'll be more. Anyway, let me see here. Opening up Chrome, pulling up the DKC Atlas, which is, by the way, it's a site that has maps of the whole series. I'm gonna pull up Platform Perils. Where the fuck are those bonuses? I swear there was a platform beneath the thing. Oh, that's just for a piece of shit statue. Okay, don't need that. It's below the exit, isn't it? Yes, that's right. It's below the exit. I knew that, but honestly, I did see the platform earlier when I was playing it. You know, I did see the platform earlier, but with 2 lives, I really can't afford to just go jumping into every pit I see, honestly. Jumping into every pit I see is a bad idea. Gonna go back to the couch, and we're gonna do this. Alright. What we're gonna do, we're gonna beat this level. We're gonna get the final bonus area in the game. And then we're going to beat the boss. That will, well, we haven't lost any lives, but that would refresh our lives if we had lost a life, if we do lose a life. And then the final boss will be right after that. King K. Rool. Coming on up. Let's do it. Let's do it. Jeez. By the way, I meant earlier I was talking about how I got some exciting things coming for this here stream. One of which being that I just ordered, yesterday, I ordered a Elgato. I've been using this cheapo capture card for around a year now. And, well, that ends coming Thursday. I got a nice Elgato HD 60 Plus on the way. It has pass-through. First life. It has pass-through, so I can return my splitter, which is nice. The splitter I just got. That's gonna be lovely. Looking forward to that coming together. If I die again, I'm gonna be very sad. all I need to do is get that bonus. But to get the bonus, you gotta get to the hardest part of the level, wherein there's a bunch of guys you can only kill with barrels. We'll do it. These guys here, invincible to everything but barrels. Go. So that's coming up on Thursday. Planning. This week's a bit unusual because of Labor Day. I didn't stream yesterday, but I will do my usual Mario Maker stuff on Wednesday, as well as starting a playthrough of GTA 5, a replay of GTA 5. That'll be on, That'll be on, what the fuck? That'll be on tomorrow, after Mario Maker. Planning on taking Thursday off since, you know, doing Tuesday, Wednesday this week. But then Friday will be Mario Maker as usual. And then next week probably will be the usual schedule. Alright, that is the last bonus. Now we just have to beat this boss without dying. Should we do that, we'll refresh our lives going into K. Rool. And then... and then we'll be able to finish this up one last... shit. One last thing. Haha, there we go. Beat that guy. Refreshes our lives. Back up to 2. Finale, the final K. Rool fight, which is coincidentally the first K. Rool fight in the series. Just 9 hits. 7 hits left. Or maybe it's 10 hits. I guess actually including the first hit, it's 10. Three hits per phase plus the first one you get for free. I feel like these fights, this one in particular, would really benefit from being widescreen. You really have to keep a eye on K. Rool to see what he's doing. And that's hard when it's, you know, this aspect ratio. But hey, you know, that's the televisions that were in vogue at the time. What are you gonna do, right? And that's partially why I appreciate that the DKC3, I said earlier, the DKC3 Baron K. Rool and Sign first fight. I think that's the best fight in the series, best boss in the series. Super, super fun and well put together. Hey, look at that, we won. We won, folks. Or did we? Give it a minute, give it a minute. Coding, claptrap. You gotta put up a fan, you're cleaning a model. Train smoke unit, and there's so much smoke. Yeah, you get your fan. Let me pull up a card. Follow-up. Miss Mouse, she does ignore defense. During Sunday's Paper Mario 1000 Year Door stream, I asked if Miss Mouse ignores defense, and it turns out she does. She absolutely ignores defense. I googled and found out that that is true. I wasn't sure, and I never knew that was the case. There we go, folks. There we go. Only had to go to DK64 Randomizer once. Honestly, I wouldn't mind going back for just a tiny bit more. Maybe it was a silly idea to even have it in the first place. Ended up being that DKC and all 3 games ended pretty much right at the same time, which, you know, was some happy coincidence. Only had to do it once. Folks, cast the characters. This is gonna tell you who the characters are, who the bad guys are. You can learn their names now. I know them all. But there's not enough time for me to prove that because the name's gonna show up on screen like a second after they appear. That's Slippa. Damn it! Said it at the same time it came up. That's yeah. There's no time to impress upon like how much I know these names. I did not know Bite Size, actually. Croctopus, though, I knew. I'm gonna go to the computer. I'm gonna put in my last victory. And what should we do? Y'all want to see a little something else? Y'all want to go back to DK64 Randomizer for a bit, maybe? What are y'all interested in? Or should we just head on out? It is about midnight. Perfect time for a raid, perhaps. Let me see who's streaming right now. First, though, I'm gonna go ahead and change the thing. Oh, I also I didn't update this after dying the last time. Died Chimp Caverns DKC, beat DKC. That's it. That is the full defeat and triumph log of this here feature, and it is done. We have beaten all 3 games 100%. We died first in Vine Valley, World 3 of DKC. Then we got as far as Quemcray, World 3 of DKC2. Got to Mechanos, DKC3, which is the 4th world, a little farther. Died in Vine Valley again, DKC, which was quite a letdown. You know, dying in the same world twice, quite the bummer. Got to K. Rool's Keep in DKC2, pretty nice progress. K3, DKC3, another world got completed there. K. Rool's Vine Valley again a 3rd time, that can't feel good. K. Rool's Keep again in DKC2, again bad. Razor Ridge, Creme Croc Industries, Flying Croc, Krematoa, progress there. Chimp Caverns, last world of DKC. Lost World DKC2, again last, progress. Krematoa again, that was right before I beat that was on the final boss too. And then, after dying once more in Chimp Caverns, I beat DKC2, then 3, died again once more, and then beat DKC1. And only had to do DK64 Randomizer once. That went really well. I hope y'all enjoyed DKC1, 2, and 3. I think that's gonna do it. I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Unless someone were to meet that sub goal right now and start a watch party. But in the meantime, folks, why don't I pull up the schedule for this week? This week's schedule is a little different. We did TTYD Pit of 100 Trials and Randomizer on Sunday. Then I took Labor Day off. Then on Tuesday, which is today, I did and I completed 1 through 3 DKC. Tomorrow, I'll be back again for Super Mario Maker 2 viewer levels, which would have been on Monday usually, but now on Wednesday because of Labor Day. And starting up a replay of GTA 5, which I bought the other day, the modern version of it, which was on sale, which was nice. Didn't have to pay too much for it. Friday will be viewer levels as normal. And next week will probably be pretty much business as usual. Alright. I think that ought to do it. That ought to do it. Let me go to the... go see who's online right now on Twitch, and I'll send you somewhere. I'll send you somewhere good. Let's see who is online right now. Super Nintendad is online. I think I'll send you his way. He is doing Disney Dreamlight Valley. He is a cool dude. Let's give him our love and shit. Alright, gonna send you there. Raid Super Nintendad. Raid has been created. Let's go. Thank y'all for coming by. Thank you, Kayla, for the big old raid. I appreciate it. Hopefully you're doing well. Gears is going great. I will see y'all, like I said, like what was on the schedule. I will see y'all tomorrow around 9 p.m. Central for Mario Maker 2 and also GTA 5. Bye, y'all.